What the fuck is happening, people? Welcome to the General Banter podcast. Half hour, power hour, Patreon exclusive. I'm here in the office. If you're watching this on video, for some reason, I am dressed like I'm doing some sort of ISIS training camp somewhere. You know the new ISIS where it's like, we're not running around dressed like genies. We're actually just we're kind of got the modern shit, but it's kind of green and militant. I actually look like new ISIS, and I've said ISIS a lot in the first couple of seconds here, and I realize that'll probably get me taken down off something wherever I'm hosting. They'll be like, ISIS up top. Anyway, Patreon exclusive. If you're on the Patreon at all, you can get there at the £1 option. You'll get this in audio form. If you jump in at the £3 option, you'll get the podcast in audio and video. And at the £5 mark, the Pro Elite, which is where we want you to be. Is it the Pro Elite? I forgot the bloody names now. What are they called? Let me see. The £5 is where we want you to be, where you get the podcasts and you get all the video content and you get all the vloggy type stuff. What was the Pro level? Pro Elite. Yeah, Pro Elite level is where you want to be at. And of course, AAA Pass, which is a tenner, is just purely for the bragging points, really. Yeah, we've put up some videos recently. We've got little behind the scenes. You've got early bird access to tickets, which for things like the live podcast, which go on sale today. In fact, if you're listening to this will go out on Thursday the 17th. There will be tickets on sale today for patrons only for a live podcast at the goddamn Limelight. And I'll tell you guys, but shortly after that event, we will be putting on sale a rather substantial live podcast at the Telegraph building in Belfast, which will be 1,100 seats, which I don't know if anyone wants to correct me. It may well be the biggest live podcast ever. Do I want to say ever in Northern Ireland? Unless, what's his name? Adam Buxton did the Whitla Hall and so 1,600, in which case that will be the biggest one. But, for homegrown talent, little old me. Anyway, here we are. Welcome to the podcast. Do you ever see something? This happens to me all the time. I'll see something right before a podcast and I'm slightly thrown off. I was watching a YouTube video and there's an ad for Huel, Huel, which I always thought was like a protein shake or something. But now they've wandered into this word. This is so... It scares me. It's that world of people, this dystopian fucking weird world that people talk about. They're like, man, it's going to be cashless society. You're going to owe nothing. Everything's rented. Everything's a social credit score. And your body has been broken down into just why even bother with experience anymore, guys? Why bother with food or enjoyment? Just put stuff in your mouth that has enough nutrient. It's like baby food for adults. Put it in your mouth and just fucking basically what it essentially was? One of those pasta and sauces or whatever. It's like a fucking cup of soup. You get this bag of shit and they're claiming that it's full of fucking goodness. So no doubt they're charging you supplement money. They'll be like, this fucking 500 gram bag of Huel mac and cheese filled with fucking vitamin C, however the fuck they work that. It's only £45. And you get one of those, that'll do you a week, man. And you just fucking pour it. Don't bother going out with your mates. Don't bother enjoying yourself. Don't learn to cook. Don't eat actual fresh nutrients. Just pour this shit into a cup and then pour some water on it and stir it around until it sounds like, you know what? Like there's a blowjob in a cup. And then just put that in your body and that'll give you energy to get up and just go to work and fucking keep it going, man. I don't know what it was about it. Just fucked me off. I was like, man, this is not good. And they were all like, Huel, sports. Fuck yeah. It might pull some people out of a hole if you're in a calorie deficit and you're like, right, I'm really struggling with this. I can't fucking go into my local Tesco and just pick up a fucking meal deal here because it's a load of trash. I will eat this the way I would eat a protein bar or a protein shake just to get me through until I can eat some healthy food. But to me, it looked a lot like, why do you even have to leave the office, man? You can stay in the office for fucking 18 hours before sleeping in one of our company provided pods over here. But all you need to do is walk to a fucking warm water machine or a kettle, if that still even exists. Pour it in. And they're doing all that sort of false, well, not false advertising, but they're like, it's like brainwashing where they say one thing like delicious, nutritious, and it looks like the guy's stirring just diarrhea with pasta in it. Fucking disgusting. Anyway, it's completely thrown me off. It sent me down a tangent that I didn't want to go on. But anyway, here we are. We just missed Valentine's Day. That was yesterday. We did a Valentine's Day special. If that was the regular podcast this week with my wife. And we did the Valentine's Day special right after we'd stayed in the Merchant. That's right, I just remember that. But yeah, Valentine's Day yesterday was it's funny. It's funny now the way the world is. They do the same thing with achievements. You know, I always say people get effort shamed. If there's some, it used to be like, you know, you could show off and be like, man, I'm fucking jacked, look at this shit. And now you have to be like, I'm in the fortunate enough position to be able-bodied and fucking blah, 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 and not be a victim of the patriarchy as I walk freely through the gym to the fucking lat pull-downs. And then you flash your six-pack and everyone goes, fair play, but also fair play for taking into consideration people who can't be arsed doing that. Happens across the board, you know, you get, what do you call the girl? Rosanna Purcell or something. You know, I'm a fan. I'm on the page. I like the photos of the hikes. I like the vegan fucking brownies that she makes. But let's face it, she's hot as shit, and she'll be up a mountain, and she'll be like, you know, take a nice photo, and then be like, turn around and like fold herself in half, and be like, look, I have rolls of skin too, girls. Just before you think this is an unachievable standard of beauty, you know, I also have skin on my body. And you see it happening with like holidays or Christmas or anything that comes about. It's Christmas, guys. Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming. Don't forget, though, there'll be someone in their house crying because they're all alone and their family was killed in a fucking car crash on Christmas Day. So don't be celebrating too hard. And you have to do it across the board, you know. And finally, I've seen Valentine's Day has caught up with that, where it's like, guys, it's not all fucking lovey-dovey fucking bullshit. Some people out there are incels. Some people out there are born with Monteroff. Montrophitis, where they're just eternally stinking and find it hard to attract any partners of any sex or gender. But I've seen a lot of that yesterday. Guys, your true Valentine should be yourself, okay? If you're going to get yourself a card or praise or fucking, you know, celebrate anyone, it should be yourself, guys, okay? Valentine. And then I've seen a lot of, like, you know, first of all, there's all those, like, fucking boy done good and all. Boy done good, brought me breakfast in bed. McMuffin. This is black coffee with no fucking milk in it. Hold on. Skin graft. But you see a lot of the fucking boy done good. Boy done good. Brought me a fucking, you know, slice of toast in bed. And you get people who are genuinely surprised, which is, you know, it's like me and Maureen did absolutely nothing, is what I'm saying. We did nothing. You know, we're pleasant to each other all year round. I like to get Maureen gifts out of nowhere. I'd be like, got you that? And she'd be like, oh my God, thanks very much. You know, take that love per fucking AirPods. You know, shut up for 10 minutes. But we're pleasant to each other all year round. You know, it seems forced to be like I just like, well, how we weren't apart for the last fucking 3 days. How could I have went and got you a Valentine's Day gift, which would not be appreciated anyway? I would get flowers and she'd be like, these are gonna die, aren't they? All over the fucking table. I would get her chocolate and she's like, you know, I'm trying to, you know, count my calories over here. And then I'll go to eat it and she'll be like, you're supposed to be counting your calories too, you fucking heap of shit. So we didn't do anything. You know? But some people must be in some nightmare relationships where, like, it does not take much at all for, you know, like, it's like owning a fucking shooting dog or something. You're just like, you stay in the cage all day, I feed you a bit of cabbage, I beat the shit out of you, and then once a year let you out to kill a fox, and you're like, thank you so much. I'm wagging my tail, I love it. Oh my God, is that a fox? Let me rip its fucking head off. That's what a lot of people seem like on Valentine's Day. He's a bastard to me all the time. He fucking, he sits on fucking Call of Duty around the clock and then just fucking fills the room full of farts and then eventually stands up with a boner and is like, here, let me put this inside you. And I just can't argue with him, and I just let him just dump loads in me. And then he goes out with the lads and all, and sometimes they'd be like, she's like, you don't give me any attention. He's like, I'm trying to give you attention up the arse right now. And then some guy like that's like, let me get this out, bitch, a fucking gift here. For fuck's sake. Buys her a thing of chocolates, and she's like, he's my saviour. And they put a photo up of like 7 kids, 2 of them his. We'd be nowhere without you. We'd be nowhere without. That's all we need, is you in our life. And the 364 days of the year that's fucking hellscape. It's worth it for when you buy me a box of Celebrations. Boy did good. Boy did good. But yeah, it fairly goes out the window when you're married with children. That's for damn sure. You get to do cute things. You're like, oh, give your mummy that wee Valentine's Day card, which I forgot to do that as well. But we made Eddie's granny a Valentine's Day card, and he did a wee scribble on it and give it to her. Even though he is a fan of, he's a passionate guy. He will grab Maureen and just grab her by the face and really full snog her. Don't know where he's learned it from. He's just like, teeth and all. Take that. He's a passionate guy. Anyway, went off on an absolute tangent there. If I had a button on this recorder, I would be like... by the way, if you're watching this video, I'm using a regular microphone here because I've seen Niall use it on the podcast a few times, and I'm talking into a fucking 600-pound microphone, and then he talks into this one, and it sounds better, and I'm like, is it my voice? Or is it the shitty fucking microphones? Who knows? Anyway, we move on. Listen, guys, the world is falling apart. Ukraine, Russia are at each other's throats, or should I say Russia are just surrounding Ukraine, just being like, ooh, fucking watch yourself, you dick. Doing a bunch of drills and all, scaring the shit out of them, turning up in fucking off the west coast of Ireland, being like, today we are just testing out some shit. And they're all like, fuck off, boy. But never mind that. The Super Bowl was on, okay? And I mean this with all my heart. If you put a gun to my head right now and said who was playing, I know the Rams were one of them. I think there's teams that are out there that are so dominant. Like the Patriots and all, you're like, I only thought there was like fucking 3 teams. But who is there? Patriots, Giants, and then some sort of Bucks or something. What do we say? Bucks? Who was in it? Let me check, actually. You know what I mean? I should check. We've got internet in the office now. Super Bowl final. It's not this final. It's just the Super Bowl, isn't it? The Cincinnati Bengals against the... Oh, my God. Look at Google firing fucking fireworks all over the thing. Cincinnati Bengals. Bengal as in tiger, as in Bengali. I don't know what the link is there. But, yeah, so, yep. So the old LA Rams, what a shite animal. These guys are like, we're the Cincinnati Bengals. Tigers, man. Rawr. And then Los Angeles are like, what's up, baby? It's LA. What animal are you? Sheep. I'm a sheep, bro. But yeah, the old Rams won, didn't they? But until I looked there, I was like, I've the bucket something, the Buckateers. We're the fucking Tennessee Buckateers. Just totally making them up. No idea. We're the Boston fucking monkey rats. Whatever. But yeah, that happened. And I swear to God, the reason I didn't know who was playing is because they announced that it was going to be Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, everyone's favourite granny Mary J. Blige, and Big Kenny Lamar. And I got fucking hyped, man. I was like, I don't give a fuck who's playing. I want to see the full-length version of that. And sure, it didn't. It was fucking amazing. Well, first of all, they had The Rock. Well, like, let me see if I can get The Rock here. I should have had this loaded. Come get us. Yes, let's have it. What's that? Oh my god, that's my coat. The Rock, and we'll get him at the Super Bowl. Oh god, that's playing on the outside. That's embarrassing. What did he do? Can we even hear this right now? Very unprofessional today. Very makeshift scenario. What did he say? Did he like a halftime show? Come on, The Rock Johnson. Los Angeles. So he was doing the intro to the game, was he? I didn't know that. I don't know. That's embarrassing to watch. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's kind of doing a... sorry, there's no audio, but he's kind of doing that Bruce Buffer. Like, there's a team has risen from the ashes. Do you know what's weird, though? What are you doing, The Rock? You know, I don't know whose idea that was. Is he from LA? He's not really, is he? I'm pretty sure. Is he not like a Texas type guy? I have no idea. But, like, it seems like he just walked in and went, hey, I'm going to do something. And they're like, okay. How about announce at halftime, guys? And they're like, all right, well, you're The Rock, Dwayne the Johnson, so what the fuck can I say? And then he comes out and does this shit. Embarrassing. Because it's cheesy, because he's The Rock, and he's being The Rock all the time, and then all of a sudden he's being Dwayne Johnson all the time, and then now he's like, if you smell, like that. He's going back to fucking finally. Get ready to bumper. And he's wearing strange pants, man. What's he saying? He's wearing like he's went for the sort of maroon trousers, and then they've got him the closest thing to that, which is like a purple t-shirt. He looks weird, man. He looks weird. Put a suit on, Dwayne the Johnson, Dwayne the Rock Bronson, for fuck's sake. But anyway, the halftime show was fucking Litzville. Talk about what is it about these older boys? Like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, where they're just like, you get all these ones where like you see someone, you go, Jesus, he looks rough. You see Chandler from Friends, you're like, fuck me, that boy looks rough. Why is that? Now it could be a lot to do with the fact that he's white, but you see these guys that are big on the piss. Oh, he drinks a lot. Oh, he's on the gear a lot. And then you see like Snoop Dogg and Dre, and they're like, these dudes smoke a lot of weed. And then you see Dr. Dre, and he's like, what's up? I'm 60. I'm fit 60 cent. Jesus Christ, me touching this microphone's a nightmare. Let me just check the actual age. Dre age. Man's 56 years old. Like, guy looks fucking not a day over 40. And then he starts playing all the hits, and you're like, man, this guy is a motherfucking legend. Look at him there. Jacked. Now, definitely juicy. Like, man's on everything. But sure, why would you not be? You're loaded and rich. You can do it properly. So, I mean, you can get a fucking doctor to come in and be like, here's the right amount of testosterone for up your ass. But there he is, the fucking king, man. Just the daddy of it all. Unreal. And you get you just hear all the fucking tunes. And you're just like, he did all those, in the club. Bam, bam. You can spot the Dre beats a mile away. Bam, 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 bam. Some fucking G-funk. Just all the tunes, absolutely killing it. Unreal. And Snoop Dogg's like down in the tunnel, they pop up from under the stage, and he's like fucking smoking a fucking big fat joint just seconds before he has to go live. And people were surprised about that, people were like, oh, Snoop Dogg smoking drugs. And you're like, that is mainly what he does. People are like, if you said, what's Snoop Dogg do? And they're like, he's a rapper. I'll be like, incorrect. He is a smoker of weed. And then sometimes people hand him a microphone. And he's like, did somebody say just eat? You know? Snoop Dogg smokes joint. That's definitely a fucking... In other news, grass is green. Well, it definitely is in Snoop's pocket. You know what I mean? They play all the no one ever talks about that Sensual Seduction song. That might be his best one. Sensual Seduction. You know? But Dr. Dre, what a fucking legend. Is that him with the family there? The daughter? Get it. Sorry. 21 minutes in, we've already got ourselves cancelled. So yeah, it was class, and there was some notable moments. You know, you had Eminem taking a fucking knee, and everyone was like, "Yes, go ahead, Eminem." You're like, essentially at this point, like, the only thing white about him is the skin. You know, everything else is he's an honorary black guy for sure. But he takes a knee, and everyone's like, "Go ahead, fucking Marshall, good lad." Still killing it, you know what I mean? Eminem's one of those guys you're like, okay, arguably, and a lot of people agree, the very best rapper and lyricist of all time. But it's weird music. I'm not listening to Eminem. You know, there's a lot of songs go on, and I'm like, I know every single word of this, but I'm not like, none of them are like fucking in the club bangers, party time. You know? It's very strange. I heard that clip recently where someone was like, by the way, this is such a 35-year-old guy to be talking about. In fact, the whole internet was full of memes of people just being like, you know, guys that were 38 trying to explain to younger people like why this is actually so cool that all these cunts are together. And they're just like, what? And making jokes like, you know, instead of bringing on fucking old rock bands, people who are like 40 are going, finally, someone relevant. Like Dr. Dre. Someone current. Okay? Someone really current and important. You don't want that either, because that seems like a lot of the stuff hasn't seeped its way into, you know, long-term culture yet. Who are you going to have? Here's fucking Dua Lipa. You know? Doesn't have the same impact. Ladies and gentlemen, Kid Laroi. Who? Ladies and gentlemen, Lil Nas X. Making out with a dude's asshole. Da, 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 da. Eat my dot. In the middle of the whole thing. He's another guy where it's like he's bigger than any music he's gonna make. Who that would like name a fuck apart from that shitty song I just sung, an Old Town Road. Fuck me. What am I talking about? What am I actually talking about? Anyway, the real star of the show was Eminem had his own fucking Jordans. He had a pair of Jordans, and was it 4s or something that were like had Eminem on it, said Slim Shady on the back. Get your hands on a pair of those. Not a chance. Obviously, it's a star-studded event. There's this weird thing in the watch world now. You know, I'm a watch fan. I'm not a guy out buying luxury watches. Because there's a few things a big man needs to knock out before we get round to buying luxury watches as investments, you know. You turn around to my wife, you're like, I was thinking of buying this Rolex as an investment. And she's like, really? Can we not just get a fucking kitchen? You goddamn incel. But there's a watch, a Patek Philippe Nautilus, okay? And let me see, Nautilus, Tiffany, Tiff. They did this run of watches, sort of a collab with Tiffany and Co. You know, the jewelers, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, but they've made this blue watch. It looks like shit. Like, you wouldn't wear it. It's just a fucking silver stainless steel, like a stainless steel watch with like a baby blue face, says Tiffany & Co. But it's become a fun game now to be like, who's wearing this watch? Because there was only a few of them made, and of course it's just like, it's you know, you're like, oh fuck, Jay-Z has one, of course. But then I seen LeBron there, big LeBron, you know it's a flex when it doesn't even go with the outfit. You know, he's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and also being just like, hey, look at that watch, 6.5 mil. You've got all. That's how it's sorted. You have to be. You're like, I've got everything sorted, and then I also have 6.5 mil to spaff on this stupid looking watch as a flex. But I go to show you, if you can get your hands on any watch that's like stainless steel with a light blue face, people are going to be doing double takes. People will be like, oh, I mean, some people in some areas might hack your arm off with a fucking machete, but sure. It's cool though, isn't it? Big time. Kanye was there, you know, with a fucking, with a tote bag over his head. You know, God knows what a ticket to the fucking Super Bowl costs, and he's like, hold on a second, let me just pull this over my head like an absolute Taj. As if, you know, it's nearly like he's trying to be like, don't look at my face, but then everybody's going, who's this guy with the fucking bag on his head? I just want to be inconspicuous. Really? You have a fucking pair of tights around your face, man? You fucking idiot. Also, people aren't going to be like, oh, is that, what's his name, Anthony Brown? Who's that footballer? Oh, there's 6 famous guys. There's Drake and fucking LeBron and this Antonio or Anthony Brown guy and fucking Julia Fox, even though they broke up, and all this shit. And then they're like, who's the man in the blue hoodie with the fucking bin bag over his face? Is it Kanye? Anyway, he's full blown fucking just turn the winds against us. That's what he is at the minute. He's losing his fucking marbles. He was going out with that girl Julia Fox. Now, but even pre Kanye, I was a fan because I seen Uncut Gems, and I was doing one of these when I was watching it, biting my fist. You know, oh my goodness. But and then she got wild skinny. You know what I mean? She got wild skinny when she got out with Kanye there. But that's coke for you. But yeah, he's sorry, I keep hitting this microphone with my coat. Yeah, man's losing the fucking plot. Like, you know, he bought a house across the road from, was it Kim Kardashian's or Pete Davidson's house, and destroyed it. Is that a photo of a house on fire? What's that? That's symbolic. Donda 2, 22, 22, was it? 2nd, the 22nd, Miami. Donda 2, man selling tickets for the show. It's all fucking, it's all PR, isn't it? That all works out well in the end. But he had a load of posts there that he's now taken down. He's got photos of his family there. God, please bring our family back together. There's a load of kids. Me and my dad are on the phone, and he brought you up to me sending you love and public support. And that's some coach from some team. The guy's fucking out of his mind. Like, Black Future Month. Bring him into Donda Sports. Donda Sports. And someone's just put a comment there. He learned how to crop screenshots. Praise be to Allah for that. But yeah, the dude's fucking out of his mind. You get none of these things are normal. Like, I understand someone like Kanye is obviously thinking on a different level to everyone else. The guy's a fucking genius creatively, for sure. But obviously when your life is under such a fucking spotlight, it can't be normal. You can't do normal stuff. I suppose you could if you wanted to, but like, I have one child, and I don't think that I could let myself be away flying around the world doing a bunch of stupid shit on a whim when I have one baby, you know? Never mind 3 kids, we would probably need to be around quite a bit. But he's just like, nah, I'm fucking jetting all around the place with a fucking bin bag on my head. Here I am with a bunch of weirdos in a restaurant where I've hired a fucking photographer to take photos of us eat dinner. Mental. You know, and then he flies the fucking, where did he go? Like Turks and fucking Caicos or something? Caicos? He's in the water and all. You're like, bro, go home, will you? Is there some sort of fucking, what do you call that? Restraining order on you? You can't see them or something? You have to be away? Go home. If you're that loaded, buy the house near them and just fucking see the kids, for God's sake. Just turn the winds against us. Meanwhile, Pete Davidson's just sitting there fucking with the longest teeth of all time. Just like, longest dick of all time as well, apparently. What is it about that guy? I would love for someone to reach out and go, I'll tell you what it is about that guy. And then he fucking, Kanye slagging him off and calling him Skate Davidson, which I did laugh at. Skate Davidson. Just being like, look at the state of this fucking moron and all. And you have to agree. But, you got to ask yourself, what's a more pleasant experience? Chilling out with Pete Davidson, where he's probably just smoking a bunch of joints and being like, and doing shit comedy. Let's face it, guys. Everything I've seen from him is cack. Is it more fun sitting on a couch with him being like, and you're wearing like tie-dyed shorts and Crocs, and his big long cock falls out the bottom of the shorts, and I was like, this is a good time. Or you're just with Kanye West, witnessing a breakdown every day, just fucking, yeah, let's go out for dinner. I'm just gonna put this fucking tote bag over my face, and then we'll take a load of fucking gear and stay in a studio for 15 hours straight, and you can pretend like you're interested while I'm just fucking put my dick in your mouth on site. I'd pay to do that, to be honest. I'd sit in with Kanye while he had a fucking coke breakdown. He's wearing those fucking Red Wing motorbike boots or whatever the fuck they are. I have a pair of Red Wings, bro. Still can't wear them. Kill me. Absolutely kill my wee feet. But yeah, Kanye's losing the plot, man. And here's the thing, Dawn the 2, get it out, man. It's the same with anyone. All these artists and stuff. Like, I sort of, now that I was about to say something where I was like trying to draw a parallel between me and Kanye West. Absolutely hilarious. But like, I do comedy, and all I want to do is give people comedy. That's it. I don't want anything else surrounding that. Any bullshits. I just want to be like, there's your comedy. Bye. Cheers for coming out. Bye. And I think you could do that. I think you could definitely shy away from it if you wanted to. But then he's just, Kanye West like is culture, if you know what I mean. So it's, I don't know. It's a strange thing to witness. The guy's out of his fucking mind, like, in a good way and a bad way. Me and Kanye are the same, is what I'm saying. Put my dick in your mouth. I've seen the videos with Cillian Murphy, and he was like, you tell people your life's boring, they don't pay attention to you, and he goes, in fact, my life is very exciting. And it's just him standing looking gorgeous, smoking 120 fags a day, and that's it, really. Alright, you bastard. Bring on Peaky Blinders, that last one, man. I'm excited for it. That's about it, really. I'm afraid how far power are up in this bitch. The boys are going to Texas, I'll tell you that for free. If anyone's been to Austin, Texas, or even anywhere in Texas and has any advice on how to be when you're there, things to do, our McCann is basically going to be in Austin, and me and Niall are going to go meet him after me speaking briefly with my wife and her allowing me to go, which is kind of what you need when you're married. You're sort of like, do you want to go to Austin? And you're like, yeah, but I don't want to go through the process of trying to justify that to my wife and child. So when I brought it up, and Maureen's like, yeah, just go, it'd be class. Then I'm like, are you serious? So I'm actually going, and me and Niall are going to go armed with cameras, and we're going to film stuff, and we're going to meet up with McCann, and we're going to go on the piss. I would imagine we're going to go on the barbecue. We're going to go on the brisket is what we're going to do. And we're going to try and just pretend we're fucking two fat Bourdains walking around Austin. I've got a hit list. I want to shoot guns, and I want to get a tattoo, and I want to do a gig of some sort. And that's it. And if you're from the United States Customs, your boy's not getting paid. Your boy's doing open spots for fuck all, if he gets one at all. But it is hilarious to go to another country and be like, hey, can I get a spot in here? And then they're like, have you got a clip? And you're like, do I ever? And then you send them some closer from the SSE. Mind blown. But your boys are going to America, and I'm watching what I'm eating, guys, because I want to do some real damage over there. I want to drop about a stone before I go, and then I want to put it all back on in the first afternoon, in fluid from the flight around my cankles. Thrombosis. But it's going to be fun. If you've ever been there, let me know any fucking hotspots. I did a bit of research myself. I was looking at areas that people stay, or areas that things happen, or tourist attractions or whatever, and I've booked this an Airbnb in the heart of the action. It even said, a lot of the reviews on the B&B were like, hey, don't be fucking relaxing in this spot. You're in the middle of the party. So that's exactly where I've booked this. We're close to like some big comedy clubs and stuff, so hopefully we can wangle our way in there. I'm fucking pumped. If I can get over the 10-hour flight. Drive you nuts. But anyway, it's exciting. We'll get some quality content out of that. Even more reason to step your game up to the £5 Patreon, because there will be vlogs, there will be podcasts, there will be all sorts of shit recorded over there, which we all know is just more fun when it's done somewhere else. So yeah, cheers for listening, guys. Grab yourself one of the live podcast tickets. Aaron McCann will be featuring on that on the 5th of March. He's flying over, God willing, and we're going to have some sketches. We're going to have some crack. We're going to watch some silly videos. Guys, it's been a pleasure. You know what I mean? It's always been a pleasure. I hope this sounds all right with this weird mic. I hope you guys are doing well. And take care, guys. Look after yourselves, guys. You know? Take it easy. Big kisses.